this.
My bad. Yeah, I'll go back.
Oh boy.
Here is our brisket. It's a, let's see, 12 pounder from Wild Fork. They put out some excellent meat, so I don't mind spending the money. Actually, it was only like 70 something dollars. So let's get this bad boy out of the pack. There we go. So we're definitely gonna be cooking fat side up as usual. We're gonna try to get a good trim on this thing. There we go. All right, here she is. So let's start hacking away at some of this fat. So this right here is the decal. So we're not gonna like take it off, but we're gonna make it flush. There we go. Then over in here, you see how the meat's a little brown. So we're gonna basically just take a cut straight down this way to expose the good meat, but then we can also see how much fat we're dealing with over here. So this thing is super cold, so it's kind of cutting kind of slow. Got me a pile over here for all these trimmings. I'm gonna use this in some sausage. I'm gonna have to do a video on sausage at some point, but I'm not quite the expert. So another good tip, if you put your hand under and push up, you're able to just lightly trim off some of these spots without digging too deep in the meat. Very thin. So let's get, I'm not even gonna bother with this because it's a little thinner down here. I'm probably gonna shape this brisket like so. So let's get some more of this off. There we go. That should be enough. All right, so we're happy with this side so far. Now let's spin her around. This is a very narrow brisket. Normally they, oh, okay, so this is like a big chunk of fat sitting here that we just gonna cut off and use for sausage. So let's lift it up again, trim off this little piece. There we go. So what I'm seeing is the way everybody is doing briskets these days is making them as round as possible or as aerodynamic as possible. This whole chunk here, that's coming off. So we're just gonna kind of curve the knife. So this will be used for sausage. All right, so let's come over this edge and get, basically we're just shaping it. So as the knife goes down, you can curve in. All these little pieces like this, all they're gonna do is burn off. So I'm just curving the knife as I'm going down. That'll work. Same thing here. Just trimming off edges like rough corners. Anything that's rough, sticking out, is going to burn. So you might as well just save yourself some time and energy and do it now. So what we're going for is like a 1/4 inch of fat. So we got a big chunk right here. Actually, I've never had one with this much fat from Wild Fork, but you deal with what you get and you make it work. So more fat going into the pile for sausage. I mean, there's no way you could do this perfect every time. So if you gash it and you start seeing meat from you went a little bit too deep, it ain't the end of the world. So, but just be super careful when you are cutting. See, I got close right here, but we didn't go all the way through. There we go. We're gonna get a little bit of this down here. It's not super thick, but like I said, we're going for a 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna leave this portion right here. Basically, you feel around, and when you feel tough fat, then that's what needs to go, because it's not gonna render. And as you go down little by little, it will start to soften up. And that's when you know you're at the level of the fat that's gonna render out. So here is a little tough. Okay, that's a little softer. Let's get something out of here. All right, we're getting there. So I'm gonna take this little edge off. This is still a little thick here, so we're gonna trim that back some. There we go, now it's starting to get soft. There we go. I can deal with that. This last little section is a little tough. See, there we go. We cut a patch in it, but it's okay. Now this section, let's skim some off of here, and I think we'll be good. There we go. So now it's all soft. So now let's try to even it out some. Like I said, most of this is staying. So let's get back to shaping. So actually, like if you see, like it's thick right here, thin right there, you know, what you can do is just kind of reshape it, trying to keep the thick side and take some of the thin side down. Go and keep it round, and this can go either to sausage or it can go to burgers. Okay, so see this little piece hanging off here, that's just gonna burn, so we're gonna chop that off and then round off your corners. Let's round this one off. All right, so I think we got us a pretty nice looking little piece of meat. I'm gonna do a couple more little cuts here and there, but we are at our shape. We'll be seasoning shortly. As far as seasonings, I have this little shaker. I put equal parts salt, pepper, but then I added in some Montreal steak seasoning. I'm not using a binder because it's rather moist here. And I'm gonna go on top of that with some the Seasonal. It's the Fiesta brand Seasonal. So let's get them a good dose. Salt, pepper, garlic, and Montreal. Just pat that in. I think I'm gonna go over it with some pepper as well, just to make sure I got a good pepper base. Just make sure you give sides some love right over in here. And I'm seasoning this ahead of time because I'm actually gonna cook it tomorrow and rest it for maybe 12 to 14 hours when it's time for the pool party to start. I think I got, all right, let's hit it with a little bit of this seasonal. There we go. I'm hooked on this Fiesta brand seasonal. Kind of gives everything a little pop. All right, so get these sides. And just as a backup, I'm gonna go on top with a little bit of 16 mesh pepper, just to make sure I got a very nice pepper base, even though the rub has pepper in it. There we go. Nice. Now let's get to the presentation side. Same deal. Going on with our mixture, salt, pepper, garlic, and Montreal season. Then we're gonna hit it with some 16 mesh. Just make sure we got a lot of pepper. Pat that in. We're going over top with the Fiesta seasonal. And don't be scared to put some seasoning on a brisket. It's a huge piece of meat. It can take it. All right, so this thing is going into the refrigerator until tomorrow morning. And we're gonna smoke it and then hold it later. All right, people. It is 5:23 in the morning. I'm about to fire up Big Shirley so we can get this brisket started. Like I said earlier in the video, we're having a pool party tomorrow. And just so I can be able to have a little fun, I'm gonna do the brisket early. So today's fire is not catching as fast, so I'm gonna help it along with the little fan. Like I said, no two cooks are the same, so we gotta help this one along. Usually it's raging, but now it's being stubborn. But we'll get it. There we go. There it is. Gotta find the right angle. now we got us a good fire. All right, folks. So I set the brisket on the counter for maybe 45 minutes. So my plan is to just go ahead and put it on, because I usually leave the doors open for 15 minutes to get a good draft during the fire. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the brisket on when it's time to shut the doors, so that way I don't have to reopen the doors. So I dry brine this brisket as you saw earlier in the video. And look at that, it's looking real good, got a beautiful shape. So we're gonna go ahead and put this baby right in the middle. Let me get my probe, because as you know, I'm not a fan of opening my smoker millions of times. So I'd rather just go ahead and get it in here now and be done with it, because the 15 minutes is up. So let's get this baby shut down. Hopefully I don't knock the camera over. Okay, so I ain't planning on looking at this thing for 3 hours, so we'll check back in when it's time to either put some wood on or check the brisket later. Okay, so I added one more log, and looks like she is settling at 250. So I can deal with that, so we're just gonna let it roll for 3 hours. All right, so we have gone below. I set my fireboard to let me know when I drop below 255. I actually got close to 2 hours out of that first setup. So let's check on this fire. Got a nice stack of wood in here. Ooh, we got a really nice cold bed. Let's put some more wood on. Let's go with this one. Put that one in, and then I have one of the smaller ones that are split. And we'll go with this one too. So we're just gonna put those two in, let them catch, and see if it gets us back to our target temperature of 275. And it looks like they're gonna catch pretty fast. There we go. So those are caught. Let's get it back shut down. And then see where we get. All right, I'll check in at the 3 hour mark so we can take a look at this brisket and see where she is. Very nice day in Florida. Okay, my alarm went off. We are below 255, so let's check on this fire. All right, so that's burnt down. So we're gonna put some more wood on. And I figured I said I was gonna check this at 300 degrees, but since I'm out here and it is 2 hours and 45 minutes, so I might as well go ahead and check the brisket while I'm out here. I'm gonna let this go ahead and catch, and then we're gonna check on this brisket. Let's pop it open, see what we got. 1 hour 45, no, 2 hours 45 minutes in. So let's see here. Okay. Looking pretty good. So you can scratch test where you kind of wipe the tip, the edge of it, and see if you're still getting rub. I'm really not. I got one piece, but so I think we're gonna go ahead and start spritzing this thing. got apple cider vinegar and apple juice, 50-50. Let's give it a little spritz. There we go. So we're gonna lock it back down and let it roll. So hitting it, well actually, a little bit of that spritz has pooled over here. See, like right here where it's just sitting, you really don't want that. So you just pick it up, give it a tip, and boom, there you go. Keep setting the bark. So we're gonna let it go. See how long it takes before we have to throw some more wood on. But so far this brisket is looking great. Okay, so let's see where this wood get us, and I'll check back in when it's time to throw some more on. Later. Okay, so our temperatures are going down a little. So right now we are at 255. So let's put some wood on. So far everything is going pretty perfect. All right. Well, there was a break in this little segment. My phone rang, so the video stopped. So we're just gonna move this around a little. There we go. And I don't know if I want to throw a log on just yet now that fire is spiked back up. Let's see where it sits. Sometimes just moving the fire around will bring the temperature up by itself. Okay, so just rearranging those logs, we went from 255, we're up at 265, so I'm not going to add any wood in right now. I'm just going to let this roll. So over here we are at, 265. So they're probably going to get to 270. So I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll come back hard in a little bit when it's time to really add some wood. All right, folks. We are at the 4-hour mark. Temperatures at 255. The brisket is sitting at 155. So I'm going to start trying to spritz every hour. So let's give it a spritz, see what it's looking like. Oof, not bad at all. Got a little pooling right here again. So we going to lift this bad boy up with some pliers, because I don't have my gloves on me. And just give it just a light little spritz. Not getting a little bit of browning right here, but not bad at all. So we're just gonna let it roll. All right, let's get it shut back down. And I will see y'all in 1 hour. Later. All right, we are at the 5-hour mark. I just added a log on. I was waiting for it to catch. Put a bigger one on because I wanted to maintain my coal bed, so that one is caught. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this back down and see where that gets us. Like I said, we're at the 5-hour mark, so it's a good time to check on this brisket and give it a good spritz. Let's see what we are working with. That is looking good. Got a little pool in here again. We just dump that right on off with the pliers. Give it a little spritz. So I'm noticing some brown, more browning right here, and a little bit right here. So, dang it, I didn't bring my gloves. Oh well, we'll use this one. I want to just kind of turn it, we'll just use the pliers. I just want to turn it a little, kind of angle it away from that direct heat. So we're just going to spin it a little. And this actually, we're going to spin it all the way. Next time I remember to bring my gloves. We're going to be spinning this brisket with pliers. But work with what you got. So yeah, brisket's looking good. So let's shut it back down. And actually I'll spritz this other side real quick. And we're gonna let it roll. All right, so we will check in at the 6-hour mark later. All right, we have hit the 6-hour mark. I actually fired up my PK because I'm gonna grill some chicken, make some grilled chicken salad. I'm starving, my wife's hungry. Let's see what this brisket looking like real quick. Temperature's still 250. So I'm gonna throw a log on after I do this because the temperature's gonna drop. Ooh, there we go. Now we getting that good bark forming. The bark is darkening up. The brisket is swelling up. So it's not a big brisket. It was only like a 12 pounder, and I did a pretty good sized trim because I'm trying to work on, the perfect brisket presentation and all that good stuff that you see. But yeah, this is looking real good at the 6-hour mark. So we just gave it a spritz. Gonna let it keep on rocking. Later. All right, we are at the 8-hour mark. The brisket is at 190 degrees, so I want to kind of take a look at it to see, make sure the color is looking where I want it before we wrap it. Oh, that is looking good. So let's, the flat is at 194. Wow, that is like falling through. Goodness. That is super tender. So this end is at 185. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it with some Wagyu beef tallow and put it to rest. Give me 1 second, let me get this camera set up. So here we go. Let me get this brisket out. Look at that. Excellent color. So I'm gonna sit it a little closer. And I'm gonna put some tallow down because this thing is gonna sit in the toaster oven until the party tomorrow. So we got tallow under it. And let's put a bunch of it on top because I want to make sure when this baby comes out, it is as juicy and tender as possible. So let's sit this over here. So now we're fat cap up. So let's wrap this. Let me take my little magnets off of here. Oh man, I done got tallow all over them. Oh well, I'll clean them. So fat cap up. So we're gonna fold this over. I really don't even have to give you play-by-play, y'all know how it's done. And leave it up to me. I get the camera on top of the butcher's paper. Let me make sure it's still in focus. Yeah, it is. All right, so we fat cap up, take a flip, fat cap down, back up. So now we're back. Fat cap up, so let's throw it back on. I know you probably don't see this. Well, probably you don't see this, but I'm just gonna put, actually I wanna put the probe closer to the flat because the flat was rocking at about 185. There we go, let's get these gloves off. So we're gonna put it to bed and we're gonna pull it at 203 to 205. I will bring you back when this thing is going in the toaster oven. Later. All right, so this has been a day. The brisket is almost done. Now I got to season up 4 slabs of ribs, 2 pork butts for the party. So this is gonna be a quick process. I'm seasoning with some Yardbird. So let's get these babies out. I'm gonna get them just slightly trimmed up. And then we're gonna get them seasoned up. I like to score the membrane, especially when I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't waste time taking it off when you can just score it and still get seasoned through the back of the meat. So put these trimmings in a bag over here, and I can possibly use them for sausages. All right, so we're just gonna give it a quick little cut just to square them off. Again, this meat is not going in the trash. It is going for sausage. Square that side off because that's just gonna burn. Let's get this. This is how I used to be working when I was running my restaurant. Like the back of my shirt was on fire because I had so much to do. Okay, 2 slabs ready to go. So we're gonna hit them with a little bit of mustard for binder. Excuse me. Let's get some rub on them. I know people say don't rub ribs, but I do. First layer I rub in. Second layer I pat in. There we go. All right. Same thing to the presentation side. I'm working fast because I'm tired. I've been up since 5 this morning and I'm ready to sit down. So here we go. Same thing, just a little heavier on the front side. So this lets me make sure every piece of this rib is seasoned. That first layer gets rubbed in, second layer gets pat in. At least I know everything has got some seasoning. So, in with that, in with that. On to the next. There we go. I don't know if y'all can tell that I have done this before. Ooh. All right, so let's flip this one this way. So let's score the membrane. That's my oven. I'm about to take that brisket out of the Shirley and finish it off in the oven. It's only got like 5 degrees to go, but I'm not gonna put any more wood in when I can just pop it in the oven. It ain't taking on no more smoke anyway. There we go. Square that up, save it for sausage. That's good. Square that up. Let's clip off these edges. It's just gonna burn. Oh, there we go. There we go. Once again, a little mustard. Okay, seasoning. So you may not like to rub the ribs in on yours, and I get it, but I just so happen to like to do it on mine. On to the pork butts. Doing 2 of them. One is for the party, and one is for my mother. It's gonna get packed up in a box and shipped to Tennessee. So she should enjoy. All right, let's get this other one out. So when it comes to pork butts, as far as the fat cap, I like to score the fat cap just like I score the membrane, so you can get down into that meat with the rub. And this one don't have much of a fat cap on it, but we'll still score it. There we go. Hit it with a little mustard. I think it's time to buy some mustard. What do y'all think? There we go. Okay, now with the rub. Well, I don't rub in on the pork butts, I just pat it in. Can't forget the money muscle. There we go. One down, one to go. And I get to finally get me some relaxation. I know some of y'all probably gonna skip to this part. Don't bother me. I do these for people that really want to see the whole process, to kind of pick parts of other people's process and make it their own. So that's why I don't mind having long videos. I know some of y'all skip, but I appreciate if everybody would give it a like and a subscribe. Done. I'll see y'all in the morning when I'm throwing these things on. Actually, tomorrow's gonna be a little bit different because I'm gonna put these pork butts in my Southern Pride because the party is at noon, so I gotta get them done fast. I'll see y'all in the morning. Man, I am wore out. The brisket took right about 10 hours to get to 200 to, I think the point was at 208, so I can dig that. But in the meantime, I prepped collard greens, mac and cheese. I just showed you I seasoned the ribs and the pulled pork, so I'm not even gonna put Shirley up tonight. I'm gonna leave it right out here. I'm gonna fire it right back up in the morning and get the cooking for the pool party. See y'all in the morning. Later. Look at that. Just opened up the butcher's paper to let it cool off before it goes into the toaster oven. Outside of the little bit of a bald spot there because of the pooling, but I call that a success. All right, toaster oven. So I'm going for 150 degrees for 21 hours. Probably won't need it that long, but the party is at noon. All right, good morning. It is 5 a.m. So the party starts at 12. I want the food to be ready at 1, so I decided to do the pulled pork in my Southern Pride. This is a DH65. They say with all the racks, you can get 65 slabs of ribs in them, but all it runs off of is a little plate full of wood chips. You just pop this baby down here. There we go. I got both the pork butts in here. Both of them have a probe in them, and all you do is hit the menu select. I have a lot of preset channels for whatever I'm cooking, so pork butt is number 1. Then basically all you do is hit start. So it's 5 o'clock. So I'll bring you back. This thing cooks pork super fast and you get an excellent bark. I'll check in when we at Shirley. And our brisket is still holding at 150. So I'm gonna let this roll until about 1 o'clock today when it's time to eat. This bad boy is still smoking away. It's been 4.5 hours. One of them is at 201, the smaller one. That's one's gonna be for my mother. The other one's at 195. So when this little one hits 203, I will pull it out. All right, a few more minutes. Folks, I don't know how many more videos I'm gonna be able to shoot because the pool party is getting ready to start shortly. Ribs got an hour left. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some hot dogs and sausages on. I'll put them down here. Hopefully that's the cooler spot. I'm gonna have to do a biscuit test at some point. But when people start showing up, the music gonna be playing and I don't wanna get a YouTube strike. So I will do my best to show you that brisket once it comes out of the toaster oven after sitting in there for 16 hours. I'm very interested to see how it's going to turn out. I'm just letting you know that this video may end a little more abruptly as the others. But hey, it is what it is. We're about to eat and have a good time. So now we got some sausages, hot dogs, these ribs looking excellent. Later.
Awesome job, man.
All
And
right.
I went back to the port.
10 hours smoke,
PRN.
15-hour rest in the toaster oven.
I started at Falkenberg.
And it's
Monday. Yeah, I go back. Good over half there.
Oh boy.
look at that.
Oh, that's out of control. Where
There you go. Let's get a little bit of juice.
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
Sit that down.
Yeah, we opened up our own private.
All right. It's gonna be quick because we about to party.
Do all that. And then Chris still works with
Boom.
here and
There it is. All right, honey.
filling a house out in Delaware.
You got it?
Forgot what I was saying.
Oh, she works nights.
Yeah, so she's working nights.
I gotta get a picture too for Chuck Marco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
She works
Minko.
like the opposite triple Marco.
Just one, just one.
Okay. I think I'm gonna start back up in September for my bachelor's.